Everybody remain calm. Please remain calm. How can we? Everything's on fire. Just grab an emergency bucket of glitter. It'll be fine. I used the last of it to make a poster for our friend's birthday. God damn. All right, men. Today we face an anomaly like no other. No longer are we fighting against headaches, tummy aches, or the time of the month. Rather, we must fight against the flu. Everybody's been sick at one point. You, me, the man down the street, everyone. And if you haven't, consider yourself lucky, because it sucks. I know it's different for everyone, but a sick person tends to have headaches, a fever, chills, nausea, a non-existent will to live. You get the idea. Thankfully, I don't really get sick these days. However, my family calls me patient zero, and for a very good reason. More often than not, if there's a chance I got exposed to something like, I don't know, a cold, I don't show symptoms for some reason. But since I live with my family, breathing within their presence is enough to expose them to whatever plague I've decided to adopt, and they all suffer. And even if I do get sick, I can recover just fine in like a day or two. Just one sneeze and bam, cured. Meanwhile, it takes my brother 3 to 5 business weeks to dig himself out of the grave. However, on the rare occasion, when the sun and moon align, when the prophecy comes full circle, the 1% of the time where I get sick, it will absolutely hit me like a truck. Because my immune system would freak out after being sick-free for so long that they would not do their job well. Name? Red blood cell. Uh-huh. It's been months since we've been sick. Something feels off. Like they're watching, waiting, preying on any sign of weakness. I gotta keep my guard up. Or else, wait, they're already gone. I remember getting sick more often when I was younger, but I think I just stopped dying so much after 3rd grade. Not sure why. I especially remember getting pink eye in like 1st or 2nd grade, and would have to stay home for days. I had to use eye drops so my eyes wouldn't become the Sahara Desert, and I hated it. Every time I was told to put on my eye drops, my life would flash before my eyes, cause ain't no way I was gonna put on eye drops. There is one incident that puzzled me for years, and I don't know if it counts as being sick. But when I was around 8 or 9, at some point, my mom noticed there were these bumps on my nose. There were at least 4 big ones, and they were noticeable on my pale skin. My mom got concerned and took me to the doctor, only for the doctor to be confused at this goddamn abomination. At first, I was diagnosed with impetigo, and told to use a bunch of creams and other meds if necessary. But the stuff used didn't do much to help, and I was back at the drawing board. We visited doctor after doctor, but they were just as clueless as we were. My guess was because I was asymptomatic. Okay, little gremlin, let's see. Do you have any itchiness? No. Are you allergic to anything? No. Have you been around anything you could possibly be allergic to? No. Do you have a headache right now? No. Okay. Child may be dying. After a while, the bumps disappeared, and I thought it was all over. Until a year later, the bumps returned for revenge. Just around the same time my mom noticed the first set appearing. Cue going to a bunch of doctors, and one of them suggested we use a certain medicine, put it on a Q-tip, and shove it right in the inside of my nose to spread it effectively. And that seemed to do the trick. The bumps finally retreated after years of torment, and they never came back. Which was a good thing, since at some point, my mom was contemplating having me always wear a hat when I was outside, or never let me outside ever again, because she was getting desperate for something to work. And since I was in elementary school when this happened, you can bet that a ton of kids asked me, what the heck was on my nose? And I did not know how to tell them that no, this is not a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cosplay, and no, I'm not turning into a zombie. Yes, being sick does suck, but there are some upsides. At least if you're a kid. Your parents give you food, you get to relax, you probably don't have to share anything if you're a patient zero like me, since most people wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole, all that stuff. But when you get older, you don't have the luxury often. because if you have work and you're sick, you still have to go sometimes or risk it all. Or if you're in middle school, high school, or college, then the work can and will pile up faster than my GPA, and all of a sudden you'll be very behind, and it will be very difficult, if not straight up impossible, to catch up, especially if you're in advanced classes with stricter deadlines. Your grades will suffer. So, if you're in school, here's a little tip to at least salvage your grade if you get sick often. Always take the extra credit opportunity. I don't care which class, I don't care what sort of mafia cartel you'd have to run in that case, but if there's an option, always take the extra credit. It may seem like more work, but if you do even just one extra credit assignment, you'll still get points that may help your grade, in case you do fall behind after throwing up 3 corn dogs in the back of the bleachers of a football game. Trust me, please! Hey, it's Future Sticks. Guess who upgraded? That's right, this guy. I got new animation software, new audio software, new editing software. Pretty much everything new, to be honest. I'm still getting used to all of this new stuff, so if I take a little longer to post than usual, that's probably why. And if there's also any, audio tweaking or, editing mistakes, that's also why. And if there are any, don't mind them, it's normal, I promise. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. I appreciate the support from the last one. All your comments really made my day. And thank you. Bye-bye!